A wave of crime has happened in the city of North Charleston and in the city of Charleston. In this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down exclusively with community activist and local pastor Thomas Ravenell one-on-one. And if you haven't already, be sure to download my free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Pastor Thomas Ravenell.
Quintin.
Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Glad to be back.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, you're a pastor here in the community,
Yes,
but you're
sir.
also a community activist.
Yes, sir.
Let me talk to you about a couple of headlines. The first, a murder just happened right here on Hanover Street, just 2 blocks down.
Mm-hmm.
Another, a transgender woman got murdered in North Charleston. Shots fired at the North Charleston Center Point Walmart.
Yeah.
And a slew of other murders here in this particular community. As a pastor, where are you looking in your Holy Bible as far as comfort?
Well, again, let me thank you for allowing me to come back.
Yes, sir.
But again, I find comfort getting in the entire Bible. So I'm a word-filled preacher, even though being a Baptist preacher, I believe strongly in the Scripture. So I can go from Genesis to Revelation. I'm always find peace because I love the Word of God. So that's what sustains me and that keeps me going.
Keeps you going.
Yes, sir.
When you look at the murders that are happening here in this community, which scripture do you go to now?
Again, I don't rely on just one scripture. I just think the strength of the Bible and a strong prayer life keeps me afloat. Our people, again, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And so we have to continue to uplift, but again, to teach. And I think that we're missing that point. What we're seeing being displayed every day is because, again, no structure is coming from the home. And now some kids, they're structured and they get away, but the majority, if you look at the majority, a lot of what we're seeing in the streets is that a lot of these boys are, high school dropouts, and then they become products of the street. And so that's a lot of what we're seeing. Again, their music tells them how to handle what we call a beef. Their music tells them they're not going to live to, it was okay if you live to be 19 or 20, whatever, so they display a lot of this image and they take it out in the street. The record labels make millions of dollars off as what we call some of the graphic music, all what we consider gangster music. And then we come back and we're the one displaying it in the streets when the music executive live in gated subdivision, but they don't see none of this crime. So this is what we're seeing being displayed pretty much.
Where are you emotionally?
I think, honestly, emotionally, we were drained. I mean, we put in countless hours. We put in the visuals. And I say this because when we do these visuals, it gives us an opportunity to gather everybody together. And the first thing that we always say is that no retaliation. So because we don't want to see another mother preparing to bury her son or daughter. But, right after, we did videos and about 30 minutes later, there's been another murder. But, we prepare for what we do, and, we just keep doing it. We won't stop. We won't stop shouting, stop the violence. We won't stop in our efforts to stop crime in our city. And by all means necessary, we have to do whatever we have to do. And the thing about it, we're to the point now where everything works. We're willing to try everything. The march, just the rallies, the stuff, the camera, anything where we can get people together, where we can say, hey, listen, this has to stop.
You talk about obviously going out and stopping, trying to stop the violence. How do you stop the stereotypes?
Well, our message is just clear across the board. We just strictly say, this is what we believe, and we're showing. The stereotype, again, everybody, we throw the net out. So whoever we come in contact with, because a lot of time we focus on the problem kids, and then we forget about the other kids who are sitting, abiding by the laws. So then, we have to make sure that, so our message is brought. Listen, let's talk conflict resolution. Let's everybody come to the table. Let's have a conversation. And that's what it's going to take now. We have to bring everybody to the table. Every pastor who wears a pulpit, he should be saying from this pulpit, listen, young people, we're going to have to pull away from the normal. Okay, meaning we're going to have to get away from the scripted program. And then we're going to have to pull all our young boys and girls together, bring them to the altar, sit them down on the floor, put them on the front row. I don't care what you have to do, and let's have a conversation.
How does your conflict resolution look like?
We strongly, the first thing that we want to address is how to deal with issues. So when you're talking conflict resolution, we have to sit down, let's come up with ways to first avoid a conflict. Let's come up with ways to resolve a conflict. How can we stay out of a conflict? Because a lot of things, most of what we see, a lot of times is just he said, she said. So, Quintin said, you did this. John said, you did that. My thing is, listen, what I say to young brother, listen, you're going to have to walk away. See, and that's one issue where we don't know how to do. Nobody walk away anymore. Because the student who walks away, he said, hey, I walk away once and not twice. Now I'm not walking away the third time. So that's why I say it takes everybody at a round table just like this, and we come up with some issues, and we go back and we say, hey, this is how we do it. The kids have to be taught conflict resolution, and that's something that's not being taught in our schools, and it's something that has to be taught. We are proud to say that in North Charleston High School, under the guidance of our great principal, Mr. Darby, we taught conflict resolution last year with the support and the help of our great superintendent, who approved it. And so we're going to be back there this year doing the same thing. Every school should be teaching conflict resolution. And it's nothing that's scripted in a book. Just great wisdom. People like myself, yourself, you talk about our Shakim.
Right.
We sit to the table, Dennis Muhammad, we sit to the table and we come up and we brainstorm and we come up with some conflict resolution. And then we take it back to our young people and say, this is how you bought it. And I was so amazed at the feedback we got last year at the high school, and the kids were looking forward to it. And one, young man said, my granddaddy said to me, don't let 60 seconds cost you 60 years. And I'm like, wow, the kids want it. But the problem is, it's not enough of us doing it. And so, we can only do but so much in a 24-hour period. We need the whole city. We need everybody. You remember years ago, Tyler Smiley had the Covenant of Black Americans, something like that. That's what we need. We need conflict resolution curriculum that every school is teaching. Every church is teaching, not preaching, teaching your young boys on Sunday. If you can't get them to come, if they don't come in on Wednesday, then if they're getting in at school, they're getting in at church, they're getting in at the community center, everybody hearing it. Because until that happens, we're going to continue to see the amount of what we see. Now, we know some of this is systematic, but some of it we can't control. And so that's what we're trying to do our part. Between conflict resolution, gun violence prevention, teaching our kids, that it's okay not to have a gun.
And what can you teach the parents now?
The same thing. We're teaching, we have to now educate our parents on parenthood. The family structure today, I only can say that from what I see. So sometimes folks get a little offended when I use the term black, but I'm sorry, that's what I can see. The black family is in serious trouble because once again, 70% of our homes are being raised by a single mother, 2 or more children. The mother's trying to do everything in her power to provide a roof over her head, bring some food in for the kids. It now, Quintin, is going to take us as black men to reach back and say, okay, my neighbor's working. I'm going to keep an eye on her 2 boys. Most of the boys, most of us men, we try to work with just the boys. But I'm going to keep an eye on her 2 boys. The 2 young boys that come into church on Sundays and the mother's struggling. We now have to reach back, and everybody has to begin to mentor. This is what it's going to take. Everybody has to be mentoring. And in the process of mentoring, we're teaching them how to be young men. Because what they're seeing in the video games, what they're seeing in the rap videos, we know is a fairy tale. But yet, it's proven because we're displaying it every day in the streets when we gun each other down. So those are some of the areas that we have to really work on. Everybody should be mentoring.
You talk about the home structure. What was the home structure 30 years ago versus now in your mind?
Well, really, 30 years ago, I mean, when the street lights came on, we had to start making it home. Or my mama came to the end of the road with the belt in her hand. So we dashed away. Now, we might have stayed out just a little past dark, but the structure today is different nowadays because grandmother today is probably 32. I mean, I hate to say it. So grandmother today is 32. Grandmother don't even know how to be a grandmother. So she bypassed even being a mother, and so she's now a grandmother. So she's learning how to be a mother. And so what happens then is that the parents are getting younger. And I'm telling you, man, it's harder and harder now more than it ever been to try to raise a family. So girls are making some bad decisions. Just trying to keep a roof over their heads.
You say the grandmothers are getting younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the crime getting younger and younger?
Because again, the parents are younger.
I didn't quite catch that.
Well, I think that's just
Hi, sorry.
Yeah, I think because again, our parents are much younger, and again, once again, they're doing the best that they can, trying to raise a family, but it's so hard when there's not a stable man in the home to help that mother. So what we're seeing every day, once again, is we're seeing the same thing that's displayed in the videos. Parents are younger. It's okay. And so nobody telling the kids to wait till they're married. The values of us as a people have just degraded. So everybody think now that let's be honest, sex is the new thing. So the young boys, he see his friends at 12, 13, 14 with a baby. So what do you want to do next? He want a baby. He see the boys on the street. See, everybody idolize what they see. So he see the boys on the street corner doing what? Hustling. So what do you want to do? He wants to hustle. So we must now, reverse the script. Work with our young mothers. Work with our young boys. Again, to teach them the important and always remind them.
Okay.
Pick this gun up. Put it in your pants. Put it in your pocket. Are you willing to do the time that comes with it? And those are a lot of conversations that we have to have. I think somebody talked about the Brady campaign has a thing called ACT. And so part of conflict resolution, we're asking our young boys, you ask your friend, is there a gun in this car? Is there drugs in the car? Guns in the, because the hands are one, South Carolina's the hands are all. And so once you get in this car and the car is stopped, everybody now goes to jail. Some cops don't even give you an option of saying, okay, who gun is it, who drops it? Everybody goes to jail. And so that's why we're seeing so much of what we're seeing is just that everybody's just displaying the negative scene, which the enemy makes look so good, and they glorify it. I mean, you look at some of the rap videos, which I've very seldom watched, you look at the Grand Theft Auto and those type of games with that. So everybody glorify having a gun now. Everybody just glorify violence. And it seems like some of the boys, it seems like the girls want the bad boys. So these boys go out and they imitate some of what they see, thinking it's going to make them popular in the streets. In the long run, it's just cutting their lifespan short because you're either going to die in this business or you're going to go to jail.
What are you praying for now?
I'll be honest with you. I'm just praying that more men would wake up, honestly, return back to God. And when we do that, Quintin, we'll see some of this change drastically. Because what we've done, we walked away from our first love. We've walked away from God. We don't see men, taking the families to church anymore. Being a pastor, I see every Sunday, I see the sisters come in church and bringing the children to church and never ask the question, really, is there a man or is not? But I think that one thing, when we return back to God, that's where we draw strength from. And then we can then go back and reach others. But what we're seeing now is we have to wake up a generation that's lost and dead.
I know you said earlier that you're drained. How much more strength do you have?
We keep going, again, because of the love of God. And that's what sustains me. I love what I do. And then I look at people like Dr. King, and I always tell people when they ask me, why we do some of the things we do, or why I do some of the things I do. And I say, my assignment is just to keep Dr. King dream alive. And we want it better for everybody. So I don't want things just good for my grandsons or my sons. I want it better for your sons. I want it better for the whole city. And I want to see all our young men have an opportunity, because what they don't understand is once you mess that record up, you pretty much lost, because nobody will hire you. So I talk to guys who turn their life around, who are on the right track. But yet they work through the temp service, and when time to get hired for the job, and then, we can't hire you because you got the record. Talk to a young guy who, had a small crack charge years ago. He got a job. Called me and he said, they wouldn't hire me because of that crack charge I had 4 years ago. That was just a small. And I explained it to him. That's why the law changed, to keep you from getting hired. So now we have to clean ourselves up and keep ourselves clean. Because if we don't, we're going to be doomed.
Pastor Thomas Ravenell, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you, Quintin. Welcome, allowing me to come back.
Anytime, you're very welcome.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Likewise. Yes, sir.